Hey, Steve Klein here. Yesterday I was talking about my sister and how she had that house fire and how she had to deal with it. And she talked about rescuing those little bunnies. And it reminded me that my wife had held a dying bunny in her hand just not even 2 weeks ago. It was just like this little, it was just about the size of your hand. It was small. And it was just a baby. And it just had gone out. And we never had baby bunnies, so our neighbors did. But just a little while ago, it was just over here in the rocks, and it finally ventured out for the first time in the grass. It started eating the grass, and my wife was just so appreciative of it. It's just one of God's precious creatures, right? And just like, oh, just so cute. Just, oh, like, oh, I'm dying. It's so cool. It's like, oh, it's so precious. I wish I could hold it, and then she kept saying, I just want to hold you. I just want to hold you. And about a day later, she got her wish. But unfortunately, it wasn't under the right circumstances. You see, our front yard has been taken over sometimes by crows, and a crow spotted it as maybe a new meal. I don't know, but it apparently picked it up. I didn't see it, but my son, who was going to go for a walk, heard it and rushed over. And as the bird was flying, it dropped. It was too heavy for it. The bunny was just heavy enough. When they become too heavy, they can't lift them. The crows can't lift them. But it was heavy. It was light enough for it to pick it up, but not light. It was too heavy for it to hold onto it. So it dropped it. And as it dropped it, it was flying towards the garage, and it released it, and it hit the garage, and it landed. And it didn't look like it was moving. And my son rushed over right away to it. Kind of nudged it with his foot. It wasn't moving. And then he went like this, and I think he might have actually gave the bird. And we had to talk to him about that, say, hey, you don't do that. This is our neighborhood. What if our neighbor's seen that? But he was rightly upset, right? And so we talked to him, and then my wife she said, you're not going to get this as your meal. And so she, took care of it, tried to resuscitate it, because there's, if you massage it, sometimes you resuscitate it. And then she got her gloves on, and she realized, she kept saying, oh, the crow broke him. And it sounded so sad, broke him, I was like, what does that mean? Well, either the impact or the crow's beak or whatever, it broke the back. The backbone was actually going through the fur. But the point was, it was still warm, it was still warm with life that just had recently happened, So it was either gone or on its way out. And it was just so sad and so then she goes, I have always said I wanted to hold one, and I didn't want to hold one this way. She's almost wished she never said that. And that sounds kind of like, it wasn't superstitious. My son said, oh, that sounds superstitious. Well, it's not. It's more like, you always say, oh, I wish I really wanted to do this thing. And then when you find out that thing is something that you didn't want under this circumstance, then you just, totally change your tune. And so that's what she was meaning. And so I knew what she meant, and we relayed it. But so the moral of the story was 2 weeks later, we saw a whole set of new bunnies. So the good news was this bunny had other bunnies, and probably was a mother nursing other little bunnies that we didn't know about. And so it was like a new, I don't know what you call that, a clutch. And there was not one, not two, not three, but four of these little bunnies. And they came out, and they were so precious. And then one went into the grass, and it kind of froze. It didn't want to notice. It didn't want to show us that it was there. And so we stood there by, I think we were in the front yard, and we just stood there quietly watching. And my wife was about to move. I said, no, don't move. And sure enough, it came and went right in front of us. And it just started cleaning its paws right in front of us on the hind legs. And she goes, oh, I'm dying. You're killing me here, because it's so cute. My wife's saying, you're killing me here. She goes, but I don't want to touch you. I don't want to hold you. Like it was the difference from, oh, I want to hold you, to, I don't want to hold you, because she knows that this is part of nature, part of real life, part of, part of the wild, part of just being out in the wild. It's a wild animal, wild bunny. And there's predators around. She can't be there 24/7 to watch, although she has been known to come out there just to have a presence if she sees a crow in the yard now. But yeah, I just thought that was an interesting observation. So I guess what I wanted to say here is just there's some things that you want to appreciate from a distance. You can't hold on to everything, and if you hold on to it too close, you might lose it all. You might lose it, and so you got to let go of certain things and just appreciate. If by us letting go and just being still, that bunny didn't see us as a threat and just came, and we were able to partake in this just little moment, and then it just hopped on into its home, and so yeah. So I know it's just kind of it may just be a silly story, but to us it was really meaningful and special, that the fact that life goes on. And we know that in the wild there's things like this. We watch some of the eagle cams from time to time, and it's really great to see the eagles flourishing. But they do eat animals, and it's just part of the cycle of life, So hopefully there's enough in the chain to supply everyone. Anyway, this is Steve Klein, and I'm just saying, live life to the fullest. Hope you got something out of this. We'll see you next time.